Hi, it's Marisa from BumblebeeApothecary.com. Today I'd like to show you my top 10 favorite books when it comes to natural living. So these are not in order of which ones I like best or anything like that. I haven't really thought about which one I'd say I like the best. Maybe that'll come out a little bit as I talk about them, but we'll see. Let's just start going through these. I kind of grouped them in similar categories. These are the books that have made the biggest impact for me when I was learning and reading about natural living and natural health, cooking nourishing foods, and all of that good stuff. So let's go ahead and go through these and I'll show you my top 10 favorite books. So the first one is going to be Nourishing Traditions. I've talked about this book quite a bit on here already, and this is great because it's not only a cookbook that focuses on properly prepared, like ancestral, nourishing recipes that include the most nutrient-dense foods. It's also full of amazing information. There's the beginning part where it talks about the different macronutrients and the proper way to think about all these things, different from mainstream nutrition advice. And then it has all the recipes and then all these sidebars with an abundance of great information, just historical stuff, interesting things from the way people used to prepare foods years ago, more nutrition information. It's just a wealth of knowledge. So that's definitely on my top 10 list, Nourishing Traditions. The next one, closely related, is the Nourishing Traditions Book of Baby and Child Care. Now this one is written by Sally Fallon and Dr. Thomas Cowan. And so it takes all of those same nutrition principles from Nourishing Traditions and then has it in a book that has lots and lots of information for raising babies and children. So advice about their nutrition, of course, and then just lots of other things, just caring for them, how to navigate the common illnesses, lots of different great information. So that's definitely up there. Next is another book that you've heard me talk a lot about, Gut and Psychology Syndrome by Dr. Natasha Campbell Mcbride. And if you're new to the GAPS diet, I'm going to link a bunch of videos below where I go into what the GAPS diet is and some good videos to watch if you're new to the idea of it. But, this is healing your gut, healing and sealing leaky gut. The gut is the foundation for the rest of your health. If you can fix that, you can fix the other problems. So this is definitely on my top 10 list. So yes, I have lots of GAPS diet videos. Definitely check those out if you're interested. And then related to that one is GAPS Stories. So these are accounts of success that people have had from following the GAPS diet. This came out around a little bit after, I think, her second edition of the GAPS book came out. Oh, and speaking of the GAPS book, she is coming out with a new one that's Gut and Physiology Syndrome. So this one focused more on the mental health side of things. She's just written a book that focuses on the physical health. It's the same exact diet, but I'm really excited to get the book because she'll talk more about those physical health problems too. So once that comes out, this will be in the list too. But anyway, this is so inspiring. It just talks about the amazing power that food has for our health. It's just incredible. It's a fun read. It's just encouraging and inspiring to read, success stories similar to my own and my family's of people having the same benefits when they go back to, traditional, properly prepared, nourishing foods. Next one is another one of Dr. Natasha's books, Put Your Heart in Your Mouth. So this one talks about the connection between basically heart disease and nutrition. So it puts the record straight for what foods are actually healthy for your heart and what foods you need to avoid. So super interesting. It's a shorter, quicker read, but everybody needs to know the information in this book. Next, closely related, is Vegetarianism Explained, also by Dr. Natasha. And this is a great one because, again, it just puts the record straight for what is the healthiest way for people to eat. There's so much misinformation out there, and it can be sad when young growing children or young families don't understand this correctly and start suffering health problems from trying to be vegan or low fat or something like that. So again, very important information that a lot of people need to know. And then still in this GAPS category is this book, GAPS Stage by Stage with Recipes by Dr. Becky Plotner. I've mentioned this one before on my channel, but it, I feel like, is another like necessary companion to the Yellow GAPS book, because she answers so many of the questions that come up when you're actually following the GAPS diet. And it has lots and lots of great recipes. It's just a wonderful guide when you're going through the introduction diet and following the GAPS diet. So if you're doing GAPS, I highly recommend this one. And then one that I recently came across during my GAPS coach training is this Complete Cooking Techniques for the GAPS Diet by Corrado. This is a wonderful resource, especially for people who are newer to the cooking techniques that you need to know for following the GAPS diet. It goes over all the basics, like everything that you need to know for preparing all of your food, making all the fermented foods, meat stock properly, answers lots of commonly asked questions, just clears all of that up. So tremendously wonderful resource for anybody who's new to those GAPS cooking techniques. And then my next book in this list is Folks, This Ain't Normal by Joel Salatin. This is a wonderful book. It's, again, a fun, inspiring read. Joel Salatin is always so inspiring whenever you hear him talk or read what he's written, but it just goes over talking about kind of our modern health epidemic and, you know, other things going on in the modern world, and how people who don't know better just think that this is the way it's always been. I guess one thing that comes to mind to me is like our kids' health. Like, there wasn't so much chronic illness in children in years past, for example. So just really, really interesting. He has suggestions for ideas that he thinks that people should be doing to try to help make the situation better. I hope that that's a good summary of it. It's really interesting. Just a good perspective. It's kind of eye-opening. Yeah, so I definitely recommend that one. And then the last book is this one. It's called Vaccines, Autoimmunity, and the Changing Nature of Childhood Illness. And this one is by Dr. Thomas Cowan. This is so fascinating. This is a must-read for anybody, no matter what you think about vaccines. It explains how they really work in all the detail, down to cellular levels. It goes into kind of the philosophy part of how vaccines are supposed to work, and then childhood illnesses and the parts that those play. I'm trying to be really objective as I'm describing these books here, I hope, as just, you know, these are important things to think about, choices that we make, and it's just so fascinating. It was such a good read, lots of great information. Again, a book that I wish everybody knew the information in, because it's so important. So that is my list, my top 10 books that have influenced me / I've enjoyed the most, learned the most from in my journey to learning about natural living and natural health type topics. I'm thinking that after I do this video, I'll probably think of a few more that definitely should have been in this list. And if that happens, then I'll maybe make a part 2 video about that. I hope that you found that interesting, and I hope that if any of those books sparked your interest, that you checked it out. I will have links below in the description box to all of these books where you can find them and get them if you want to read any of them. If you have already read any of these, I'd love to hear what you think of them, what you learned from them, what you enjoyed. So leave me a comment below and let me know what books are your favorite when it comes to natural living, even if they're not in this list. I'd love to hear your ideas. Okay, I really hope that you enjoyed seeing that list of my top 10 favorite books when it comes to natural living. If you did like this video, give it a thumbs up. Share it with anybody else you think might need some more ideas for good books in this category to read. Here on my channel, I show you how to make nourishing recipes for nutrient-dense food, natural remedies, and DIY skincare and home products. So if those are something that you're interested in and you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I get out 2 videos every week. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time. Bye. Bloopers. Do you have some things to say about it too? Microphone was almost knocked over.